Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, it's the SSN Nation Friday night live stream, and we got to talk about it. Bad guys trying to hold you back from success? Who are those bad guys? And it's all about financial freedom, because otherwise, what other reason does somebody have to hold you back? Because if you have financial freedom, you would be long gone. All right, we're going to talk about it tonight, and welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you once again for being here on the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. And we are going to be jam-packed because the bad guys are trying to hold us down, ladies and gentlemen. So we have to talk about it here tonight. And so I just dropped something on the ground. But anyhow, please smash that like button. And that's so the YouTube gods know that you're in the house tonight. And again, if you like what we're talking about during the live stream, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. Humbly appreciate that. Let's see who's in the house tonight. We have Auntie Val in the house. That is Professor Auntie Val is here, ladies and gentlemen, a.k.a. Professor Auntie Val. Thank you so much for being here in the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. You could be anywhere on the planet, and I appreciate it that you're here with the icon next to your name, which means she's a member of the channel as well. And she has her tagline, "Good evening, fam." And she has the heart. She has the strength showing and the support. So thank you so much. And by the way, let me know who received a notification from YouTube and may have seen the trailer. So Auntie Val received the trailer and received notification. So that is a good sign, ladies and gentlemen. A good start. That's one. Wilson Koo's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. And he has the icon next to his name, and he says his tagline, "Good evening, Mr. Bird and SSN family." 100% facts. He sells money. That's right. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. You want loans. You want to be able to borrow. You want to be able to do real estate. You want to be able to start a business. Yes, you have a business already and you have revenue streams coming in. Well, we can get you some loans, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Koo does that. And of course, to make it simple, I'll talk about it later, but to make it simple, you can send me an email at support@stopstrugglingnow.com, and I will forward your information to Wilson Koo, and he will get in touch with you if you need funding, financing, lending, anything along those lines. He has money for you. You got to just try, because there is even a program where you could have 500 credit score and get funding. It's incredible. So anyhow, that's the man that you want to talk to. Now, Wilson Koo says, "Evening at On TV." He received the notification and saw the trailer. All right, that's two people, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can have some more. And some love is in the house. Good evening, Mr. Koo from Professor Auntie Val. Victor Marrero's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. He has the icon next to his name, and he also brings along his tagline. "Hello, all. Let's do this. We're going to make it happen. We're going to do this." And thank you so much for being here, Victor Marrero. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about bad guys trying to hold you back from success. And it's all about your financial freedom. But think about this. What else could hold you back? You're working hard, right? Because you have to make money. Who are these bad guys? Now, that's the funny and interesting thing, because you think a government's supposed to watch out for your ass, right? But you find out as you get older, you're looking at your paycheck and going, "Who's this FICA person? Where's all this money going to? I can't account for none of it." But you know what? That little bit of siphoning of your money, well, just look at it in reverse. What if that money, that little bit of extra 20%, 25%, 15%, 18% wasn't siphoned off from every paycheck for your whole life? What if that 20%, 25%, 28%, 15% every paycheck went into a fund called the Family Wealth Fund instead? And some people right now, you may have more than one person with a job in your household. It's being siphoned off from 2 people or 3 people in your household. And imagine all 3 of you, all of a sudden, all that FICA and all that stuff wasn't being taken out. What you could do with that excess money? You could make investments. You could have a nice little family wealth fund sitting on standby. So who are these bad guys? Well, one, you have to consider it's the government. Let me know who you think's stopping you from being successful. Now, I'm talking about financial right now, but I'm going to get into some other conversation as well. So boys and girls, men and women, don't be shy. If you want to contribute to this conversation, the chat room is open. All right, because we're going to talk about a whole range of things, because there's an overall theme here. Stop struggling now is based on you are being held back and you don't realize it because you're going with the status quo. You're saying this is how it's always been. This is why nothing ever changes between the haves and the have-nots percentage wise. All right, let's get into it. Leah Dennis is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. And Leah Dennis has the icon next to the name. So I humbly appreciate you being here. And she says, good evening, SSN fam. Eric B., Auntie Val, Wilson Koo, I am back from birthday vacation and ready to get busy making money. Very happy to hear this, because that's what we have to talk about ultimately. We got to have that wealth fund, those freedom papers, the financial freedom. All of that goes together. People are holding you back right now from getting there, making you work for 40, 50 years just to try to get there. And you have to take risk along the way by giving your money to somebody else. First of all, I started talking about money, because without it, you don't have a roof over your head. You don't have food in the cupboards. You don't have clothes on your back, shoes on your feet. And it gets a lot worse when you don't have it and you don't have any alternatives. So there's a reason a certain number of the population is going to be held back. And that's just talk about it. It's like 90% of the population. And yes, you can go to school. Yes, you can start your own business. Yes, you can be an inventor. You can be a musician. You can be a sports figure. But those slots are relegated to thousands, not like billions, right? You guys understand that, right? So therefore, you're going to have to find your own niche somewhere so you can be successful. Now, I haven't even gotten to the bosses yet, but let's see what else is going on in the house tonight. Okay. Leah Dennis says, I also received notification, and hello, Victor Morero, showing nothing but love in the house. That's what we do here in the SSN Nation, ladies and gentlemen. That's the caliber of persons that are here in the nation. And that's 3 people tonight. Let's see. Elmanville Vert is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. And he says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Thank you once again for being here on the live stream. Edmondville Vert, very happy to see you. And again, Professor Auntie Val says, good evening, Victor M. and Leah D. Nothing but love, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Edmund. Professor Auntie Val says it. Curtis Davis has just landed into the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. I thank you so much for being here with the icon next to the name. And again, he has his tagline in tow. Good evening, SSN family. And he's bringing the rest. His logo, I should say, always be making money. That's right, ABMM, ladies and gentlemen, always be making money. And how do you do that? Dividends funds. That's one way. All right. Passive income. That's another way, but you can get passive income from several different sources. And right now, crypto's going wild trying to give people passive income. It's happening. It's going down. Are you getting some of that? That's another way to get passive income while you sleep. So that's 2 ways you can do it. 3 ways, start your own business and you have profits coming in from the revenue. All right. Those are for starters. Just so you know, always be making money. And that's how you get your freedom papers, ladies and gentlemen. The bad guys trying to hold you back from success. Okay, let's get into it tonight a little bit more. So you're sitting there and they're telling you, hey, go to school, get a job, right? What do? You go to school. Then all of a sudden, they started the program saying the school's not going to cost you $300 or $500 or $1,000 a year. It's going to cost you, well, we're telling you to go to school. So why don't we just up the fees and then we'll come in as saviors and make you take out loans. So now when you finish with school, you're straddled with this loans, and the amounts aren't $3,000 or $2,000 or $5,000 or $8,000. They could be 30 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, $150,000. How would you like to be 22 to 25 years old and have a bill of 60 grand because you decided to improve yourself to get ahead in life because that was the playbook? And now all you have done is be in debt. And then they sweat you because now you only have 6 months or 7 months or 8 months before you have to start paying it back. And nobody told you that millions of other people graduated the same year semester as you did. And millions of other people are looking for the 2,000 jobs that are available. They don't mention none of that. But now they got you, ladies and gentlemen. The bad guys got you again. They got you in the matrix. Because now you're sweating, you're out of a job. You have to take a lesser job, a lesser paying job than you ever thought you would have to take, but you got to take it. But now some of that money has to go to your school. Now you can't pay back the school, so then they report it on your credit report. Oh, you're wondering why millions of people can't get ahead, and some people just say, oh, just go to school, get a job, it's easy. No, ladies and gentlemen, they got a certain segment of the population spouting that nonsense. Meanwhile, there's millions of people who cannot, even though they have the educational background and the skills. Let's get real. The bad guys are holding you back already from success. And then, of course, we have a few people, just like a casino, we have to have a few winners. So therefore, we have to have millions of winners in order to keep the other 100 million people down, because now you have hope. All right, let's go. Auntie Val says, good evening, Curtis D. Let's see who else is in the house. Victor Morrell showing at Leah Dennis. Hello and welcome back. And Auntie Val still going stronger. Keep piling stronger. I checked it out. It went up to, I believe it was 111, 113, something like that earlier today. So that's a good sign. We like to see that. It was under 100. Now it's over 100 and it's climbing. So that's a good thing in the last 48 hours. Vanessa Comagate's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream with the icon next to the name. Thank you so much for being here. She says, hey, boss and SSN fam, got notifications, sir. Thank you so much. That's 4 people with the notification tonight so far. Let me know if you received a notification in YouTube trailer tonight. I appreciate it. All right. Victor Morrell, Wilson Koo. Good evening, Eric. All right. What's good, sis? Professor Auntie Val for Vanessa Comagate, Professor Val, Leah Dennis. Hey, ladies. That's right. They're in the house. All right. Hey, Koo. Man, Vic, the Brick, Chili Davis. That's right. Curtis Davis, a.k.a. Mr. Financial. He's also Chili Davis, is an alter ego, and that he has a YouTube channel. He helps people out with information and updates throughout the day on his channel with the stock market, with the crypto. Well, always be making money. That's what he does. Go check him out, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe, show your support, hit some likes on the videos, watch some of the ads that go by. You know how we do this here. Let's go support each other, show some love. That's what we do here in the SSN Nation. All right, let's go. Vanessa Woa, congrats, Professor V, on getting close to that 10 no's. Oh, yeah, she should be there, actually, I think, because I'm pretty sure she's very, very smart. That's why Professor Auntie Val probably took some of that cash flow that she was having over the last 6 months or 8 months, whatever it's been. And I'm pretty sure she stuck aside $1,200 or $1,500 or $2,000 from them nodes when they were $400, $500, $600 for a couple of months. And it was just coming in as she had 4, 5, 6 nodes. So again, very well done. She's going to have those 10 nodes even at this price. She's going to have the 10 nodes in like less than a month, less than 3 or 4 weeks, I believe. The numbers are right. It's going to be kind of crazy. So congratulations as well on that. The 10 nodes, in case you don't know what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, because she's buying her financial freedom. She's taking a risk. She's saying, you know what? I'm going to get my 10 coins from StrongBlock, which is now called Stronger. And then I get my 10% of whatever the coin price is. She started out with 1. Then she got 2 of these nodes. Again, a node means you have to buy 10 of the coins. Like right now, if the coin price is $111, that's $1,110 plus ETH fees. So let's just call it $1,200. That's how much it costs to get a node. Now, she happens to have more than 1. So literally, if she has 10 nodes and it's $111, she's getting roughly $10 or $11. We'll round down to 10. She's getting $100 a day. That's $3,000 a month passively, ladies and gentlemen. Financial freedom on the horizon, as long as Stronger stays even in that ballpark. But what happens if Stronger doubles? Now she has $6,000 a month coming in. What happens if it triples to $330 a coin? Now all of a sudden, it's like 9 G's a month passively, I believe. But nonetheless, this is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Your financial freedom is at stake. They're blocking all of the avenues. You cannot be in debt and then turn around and stay in debt and have to pay the 1%, the 5%, the 10%, the 15%. They have you. They're holding you back from your financial freedom, your destiny all the time. And then you're getting taxed some more. So keep that in mind. All right. Congrats on the 9 nodes. It goes overdrive. I can't wait for the blockchain implementation. I saw the introduction of Stronger on YouTube. That's badass. All right. Well, we're going to find out, because I don't know how that's going to work with the blockchain, because blockchains, unless you're Ethereum or Bitcoin, the charges are outrageous. And I can't think and believe that Stronger would create a blockchain where they're going to charge $75, $100, $150 to be on their blockchain for transactions. That's just not even a win in the long term for me, as far as I can see. So therefore, at least they do have an ecosystem where they're going to be able to generate some revenue inside of Strong. So I got to give them some credit for that. But the whole thing is, I don't know if they're still going to be able to give that 10% of the coin price to the, I don't even know how many thousands of nodes they have. I'm pretty sure it's over 100,000 by now. So that ought to be pretty interesting. All right. But yeah, I'm liking if they do that and they can maintain it. But will that price stay at 120, 130, or will it go back to $400, $500? Because if it goes back to 500 or 600, everybody who has multiple nodes, you're going to win big time. All right. Wilson Koo says evening at Victor M, Vanessa K, Curtis Davis. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you're thinking about bad guys trying to hold you back from success. You know what else? You want to know who else looks like a bad guy? Here's the funny part. Now, after you already had to go the gauntlet, and some of you said, well, I'm not going to go to college. I'm just going to go find a job and get in the workforce, and everything's going to be fine. But now, you know who else? The establishments themselves. They sit there and they look at the resumes and they're just like, hey, this guy works for us. He's doing a great job. But wait. He didn't go to college. He doesn't have a college degree. Oh, man, maybe. Hold on. We'll have to bring him along slowly. Right? That happens, ladies and gentlemen. Bad guys trying to hold you back from success, knowing good and well that you are the best candidate for the job, but they have ulterior motives. They're sitting there saying, hold up now. We have, what's his name, kid that the dad and mom used to work here at the company. Their kid works here at the company. They got a legacy here. Yeah, we're going to have to bring them along a little faster. This other guy over here, he works hard. He's been here also about the same amount of time or a little bit more, but nah, we know their family. So we're going to promote this guy over here. We're going to let the other guy sit there for a while. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's bad guys trying to hold you back from success, which is financial freedom as well. That's also taking away your wealth. That's why you have to stand up to this type of nonsense, and you have to figure out, hey, hold on now. SSN Nation way. I got to start having extra streams of revenue coming in the household, because I don't want somebody to be able to dictate, hey, you're going to get promoted when they know you're the best person in the house. That's what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. You know, there's a lot of bad guys out here. There's a lot of places that are holding you back. And I won't even get into if you're a minority. Hell, you're going to be held back just because. Not even any other reason. You got to be better, the best, and you still may be overlooked. Look at this right here. I'm going to get geopolitical tonight. We have the lady, the first black woman on the Supreme Court nominated. 53 of the senators nominated out of 100. 47 senators said, hell no, and walked out like chumps. And people are voting for them chumps. That's right. They walked out. But I remind you, all 3 of the last Supreme Court justices that were brought forth can't hold this woman's jock strap, can't hold this woman's dress, can't hold this woman's nothing. They don't even compare under any circumstance. Some have never even did a court trial, but yet they're a Supreme Court justice. Some of them have rape allegations. Some of them put church before state against our Constitution, but that's all good. But a person who has a stellar record, has actually held trials, actually was on the defense, was on offense, and has been a sitting judge and voted in damn near 100% up to her last position. Somehow, 47 clowns say the other 3 are better, and I gotta walk out. I gotta walk out like punk asses. That's right. I'm going to get banned some more, but I'm calling it like I see it, ladies and gentlemen. And this also tells you bad guys trying to hold you back. That's what it looks like. You're more than qualified for the position, better than their best, and they still trying to hold you back. That's right. It's more than financial freedom, ladies and gentlemen. I fooled you, didn't I? We live in America with a K, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going off a little bit tonight, but you guys got to understand what you're working with, what you're up against. So that's why this thing that's going called crypto, the people's money, it's always about financial freedom and upward mobility, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be fooled. So no matter what happens, no matter what matters most is that you figure out how you're able to get generational wealth. And that's what we talk about here in the SSN Nation. That's why we talk about real estate. That's why we talk about crypto. That's why we talk about stocks. We even talk a little about gold and silver, the staples that you need. But we also talk about starting a business, because you don't want to have a boss in reality. You want to be able to wake up anytime you want to, go wherever you want to, and tell everybody to take a flying leap if they mistreat you. That's what you want to do, ladies and gentlemen, because the bad guys are all over the place trying to hold you back from success. And all I'm saying is don't let them do you like this. All right. Okay. That's my speech for the night about that. So let's see what else is going to happen. Anybody have any comments down below? We can talk about it. No problem. All right. Wilson Koo, evening. Victor M, Vanessa K, Curtis D, showing some more love. Auntie Val, Victor Morel, correct. Their roadmap is very exciting if they can see it through. The fees will be lower and the partnership stronger. Already have other looking to build on the chain. Yeah, because Strong Block has been a pillar. They've been around a long time, over a year. And so let's just call it what it is. The longer you're around and you're still paying out, then people tend to start believing. And that's exactly what happened on the reverse side when they said, hey, we're going to change up, and people lose the faith a little bit. They're like, we don't know what's going to happen. So that dries up the demand. And once demand goes down, the coin price comes down. And that's all that happened pretty much right here. So the same thing can be in reverse. Once people realize that it actually is a better plan, then their coin price may start going back up to where it was 200, 300, 400, 500. So therefore, you have to decide if this is a good entry point for you. Even if you wanted to start your first node, is the first node of $1,200 worth it? Like right now, where you're going to get about $10 or $11 a day, $300 a month? Well, you tell me. Are you going to take $1,200 and you'll take $300 a month? I mean, to me, I believe that's $3,600 a year if you stay at the same number. And so all you have to do is divide 3,600 by 1,200. That tells you right there, you're at 30%, ladies and gentlemen, on your money. A little bit more than 30% on your money. I don't know where you come from, but that's a damn good and pretty good investment. Now, if you say, Eric, 300% is what I like to get, well, that can happen, but 30% is good, as just as good as well, right? Nothing's going to stop you, but you do have to take the risk, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So something to think about. All right. Stella Luna is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here with the icon next to the name. And she says, good evening, everyone, and blessings. Blessings to you. Thank you so much. Just settling in, but I'm listening. Happy to be here. Thank you so much. And I always learn something new. I'm very, very happy to hear that. Thank you, Eric and SSN. Hope all is well, everyone. Hope all is well with you and your loved ones and family as well. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you now, who do you consider are bad guys trying to hold you back from success? Because ultimately, holding you back from success is messing with your money. Is that what you want? And going forward in America, you guys may have gotten the word where Russia, who has sanctions against basically the European nations and NATO and all that, well, guess who came to their aid? Our good friends from China said, we're going to use your rubles and yuan. And then the guys who backed the US dollar, you guys know what that is, right? Saudi Arabia has the petrodollar. That's what our dollar is really backed by. They also said they will help with the yuan as well. I told you guys, I don't know where some of you are new people here, so maybe you don't know when I was talking about how Russia and Saudi Arabia allegedly are friends, they're friends, high-fiving at the G20, buddies, when they wanted to create an oil situation last year where they dumped oil on the market to make it go down to zero. And you guys thought they were enemies. No, now they're working together with China. So Russia, China, Saudi Arabia, they're working together so they can do transactions using their currency called the yuan. Congratulations. They just did what they were always trying to do all along, and China jumped in because they always wanted to be the world currency, because the bottom line is, if the United States is not the world currency, we're $30 trillion in debt. There's no way it's going to be a 1-to-1 ratio. All of a sudden, people come and we're like Mexico. You see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? 5-to-1, 10-to-1. Now we start having problems. Credit rating for your country goes down. Yeah, there's a big game going on. So if you think bad guys are trying to hold you back from success, it's going to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. A lot worse. So you got to be prepared. And that's what we've been doing here in the SSN Nation, getting everybody ready. You guys have the tools. You have the information. You have a way out even. No barrier to entry. All right, Stella Luna. I think I read that already. Yes, I did. And look here. We have M Times Prophecies is in the house. If you're a minority, you'll get held back for those in your hood, usually by Black and Hispanic people. End time prophecy. Hey, man, that's exactly right. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Thank you so damn much for bringing that up. Because what do I hear out here? Minorities are saying, oh, this ethnic group is holding me down. That ethnic group is holding me down. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Your own minority group holds you down. Let me explain. What do you guys see on these YouTube streets? What do you see? You guys know this is the No Guru Zone. We don't have courses down below that you got to waste your money and sign up for. We're not the bad guys. We're not trying to take your money and use it and blow it and go over here and buy gold jewelry and all this nonsense that means nothing, cars. We're not out here blowing it like that. That's the thing. That's the whole thing right there. Go look on YouTube and you see all kind of what End Times Prophecies is talking about Black and Hispanic people are on here saying, give me your money. We have courses. You can make $1,000 in a day, in a week, in a month. You can do all of this, but buy my course and I'll show you how. Excuse me, show me how. Wait a minute, I thought you already make a lot of money. How come you're not like SSN Nation and just tell me how to do it? Because that way, rising tide lifts all boats for everybody. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have a big bone to pick around here. SSN Nation, we give out information that's freely available and free to you from knowledge that we have here with the people here who have run businesses, who are in the financial industries, who give out loans, who understands how this ecosystem works. But my man here, End Times Prophecies, is exactly right. Minority on minority is holding each other down. And how are we doing this? In so many different phases. Being like, hey, we can't let that guy get a better deal than me. We're not going to work with that person. We're going to just be scammers and rip people off, give us money for products and services, but then do nothing at all. We never intended to do anything at all from ripping people off as minorities. But by the way, you can buy my courses for $5,000, $1,000. You could have used that money, ladies and gentlemen, and got yourselves into crypto 3 years ago when ETH was $150 a coin. While there's a bunch of minorities out here going, don't buy that, don't do that. Well, look what happened. If you would have had $500 or $600, you would have had 3 or 4 ETH coins for $150. Now it's over $3,000. 3 or 4 coins, okay, 10 grand in 3 years. Where else are you going to get that for just sitting on your ass? But there are some people like Professor Auntie Val trying to get these 10 nodes. There's people out here telling her and other people probably saying, no, don't do it, man. It's a scam. Hey, one person's scam is another person's financial freedom. But I'll be damned if I got the Black guys, the Hispanic people, minorities out here taking money from other people, giving them BS stories. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about because all here on YouTube, you guys get them. You see all these ads that pop up. How to make $1,000 in 5 hours. How to make $10,000 a month without doing anything. Come on. But they're charging to tell you how to do it. These so-called gurus. By the way, there's a guy out here. Hold on. I'm going to have to calm down here for a second. I got to calm down. Because this right here, End Times, this right here has put something out here that we rarely talk about here because we're trying to have a rising tide lifts all boats. But this right here is so disgusting that you have minorities doing minorities on minorities scamming. Never mind scamming, period. But you're out here extolling the Tulsa real estate fund. Give us your money because we're going to buy up the block. We're going to do all this. Yeah. Crickets. 2 years later, you took people's money, but you live in lovely. You live and bought a new pad. You did all this crap. You guys know who I'm talking about. I'll just say in the ATL. You know who I'm talking about. Yet to this day, people still backing him, and the minorities shouldn't be doing minority on minority. Where's all the minorities rising up going, man, that's BS. There's still people back. Oh, yeah, he's working for the community, for the culture, for the... Blah, blah, blah. Come on, man. Let me slap you guys into creation with this nonsense. You're allowing it by co-signing for this crap. You know it's wrong when somebody sits there and tells you, hey, we're going to buy back the block. Give us $500. Give us $1,000. Give us your money, and you can trust us because, hell, we're the same. We look the same. Yeah, now that you got all the money, we ain't looking the same right now, are we? You ain't helping out nobody except yourself. And everything you're moving with is saying, oh, I'm buying my businesses, giving money to my businesses, my wife's businesses, other people's businesses, but we're all good, right? Okay, that's just one example. Let's get on to some others. There are some other examples from both sides of the fence, whether you're a minority or not. But the fact of the matter is, what's worse is people out here saying, give me 5,000, give me 1,000, give me, oh, I got a raffle coming up, right? And then you find out some of this stuff goes to their family members talking about they gave it away. And then some of it's legitimate. But at the same time, it's still illegal. I'm just saying. All right. So let's keep things in perspective. I won't keep going off any further than this. All right. Because I gotta calm down. I gotta get myself some water because then the prophecy so all of a sudden got me heated because that's something that's very, very bad in the community. And let's go even one step further. Bad guys trying to hold you back from success. That's part of it. You know who else is bad guys holding you back from success? The guys that are in the hood shooting up each other over blocks they don't own. Yeah, I'm going off tonight because this is that kind of night tonight. Once we get into this vein, you are out there shooting up people that look like you, claiming you down with people like me, and you about to shoot me. Come on now, man. Come on. Stop the madness. You ain't even owning none of the streets. You might be holding it up, sticking it up. That's about all you doing. And then, of course, you taking down the property values in the neighborhood because nobody else wants to live there. Are you crazy? Instead of sitting there making sure that everything is all good, and instead of making sure, you know, the lawns are mowed, the fences are up, the homes are painted, everything's roof needs help. No, you over there worrying about some money that's coming from illegal activity, and you willing to kill people over it. Yeah, you cool. You real cool. Until you locked up. Just nonsense. Like that's a thing. All right, I'm getting too deep tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because when we talk about bad guys trying to hold you back from success, you're walking home, you're only 16, you're the superstar on the soccer team, the basketball team, the baseball team, a stray bullet comes, you just knock down a multi-millionaire potential person that could grow up and bring good stuff to the hood, but you don't give a damn. Stray bullet just killed a 5-year-old, but you don't give a damn. Bad guys trying to hold you back from success, you in that mix too, my man. Or woman who co-signs. That's right. You guys know where to find me. You know where to find me. I ain't scared. Come on. This is crazy talk that you guys are giving the people around there, trying to hold people back, saying, oh, school ain't nothing. You don't need to learn nothing. Here's a handgun for you. That's all you need to know. Now get my back. Yeah. You guys doing that kind of nonsense, and you think that's going to help who? It's only helping your sorry ass. Okay, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I had to go off tonight about this subject matter because end times prophecies, he done hit a nerve with me right there. Right there, man. Now I got stories to tell. I got stories to tell. Let's talk stories. And you guys know how it is. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about when we start talking about the minority pool. Auntie Val says, preach. Good evening. Stella Luna. All right, I went off too much, a little long, but hey, we got to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, congrats to Katanji. Hard to gain respect as a black woman. No excuses for me. Exactly, Vanessa Comegate. Exactly. You guys, you got to understand. Bad guys trying to hold you back from success. But here's the thing. Those people that are trying to do something, they're going to persevere. Yeah, you're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs, but you're not going to give up. And you're not going to resort to the penitentiary industrial complex either, because they're already out here hunting to put cases on all you guys, all minorities. You walk around and breathe and they just pulling you over, and you guys know that. Any minority in America know you driving down the street while black. You turn the corner and you're sitting at a stoplight, and all of a sudden it's like this woo-woo stuff, and you're like, what's going on? And now you got interaction with some clowns, and those clowns, called the police, they're sitting there telling you, hey man, we just pulled you over to check out something. Check out what? You smoking? You got holding? You got anything? What are you pulling me over for? So you can ask me questions that you already know I'm not going to answer? Can we search your vehicle? For what? Hell no. Why? Oh, we're going to take you to jail. Click, click. Illegal all the way around, but that don't matter. Those are bad guys trying to hold you back. And seeing how end time prophecies mention it, when we're talking about police, it don't matter what color the police is. Guys that look like me is still doing it to guys that look like me. All right? Trust me. One of these days, in fact, I'll just tell you this story. You guys know Will's been on here. He buys hotels. Go check it out, ladies and gentlemen, how you can actually buy a hotel and you don't need any of your own money. If the deal is right, we have people that can get you funding along with Wilson Koo. We have other people that are looking for hotels and multifamily properties, and they're willing to give out $1,750,000 or $500,000. The thing is, they don't want their $1,500,000, $250,000 sitting in a freaking bank that's earning 0.01, 0.03%. They would rather put it on the market and say, hey, man, give me my 12% a year. You have your interest only for a year. So we're willing to put it down. Give us our whatever that 12% on 500,000 is. What is that? 6 G's a month. Give us our $72,000 per year, ladies and gentlemen. You can do this. I know a lot of you might be afraid to try and do it. You might be out there right now going, man, I have properties that I can buy and I just don't know how to do it. And I don't have that 25% down. Well, if the numbers are right, ladies and gentlemen, you can get the funding. Again, who's going to tell you this? SSN Nation. Hit me up with support at StopStrugglingNow.com if you have something, because Wilson Koo, myself, and a few other people can help you out with funding. We got people who will do this because they will take their 12, 13%, even 10% because they don't want their money sitting there for 1% or less. All right? That's no fun. So that's how the wealthier get wealthy. But again, you're getting pulled over by the police. Those guys are holding you back from success because all they have to do is plant evidence on you. All they have to do is just arrest you and just lie about it. It doesn't matter. You're still in the court system. You could have a job. They arrest you. All of a sudden, you go into the holding cell for 4 hours. You have to go to work the next day. Nobody knows where you are because they didn't put your name on the docket that you were even arrested. The next morning comes, you go, hey, man, what am I in here for? Oh, yeah, that's right. We forgot about you. Now you done missed your job. You ain't calling out to nobody. All of a sudden, they go put you in the cell. Next thing you know, they say, hey, you're in here for some BS. Knowing full well it wasn't, but you're not going to see a judge for 24 to 48 hours. So you missed 1 day of work, possibly 2. Most people know when you go back and say, I got arrested, and then you try to explain to them, but it's BS, you're fired. It don't matter. Bad guys trying to hold you back from success. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to have to stop right now. All right? Because the channel's already banned. We're about to get banned some more for this. All right, here we go. Good evening, End Time Prophecies. Thank you so much. There we go. Vanessa Comagate, End Times Prophecy Facts. Exactly. He said it exactly right. Made me go off on a tangent. But anyhow, correct. Vanessa Comagate, there are no excuses, but there are reasons, which is why you work smarter, harder, and never let up. Exactly, Auntie Val. That's exactly right. You work smarter and harder and never let up. You have to go with the go sign, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's exactly right. That's what I'm talking about. Auntie Val, amen, sis. Let no one stop me. They never could. Exactly. That's exactly right. Nobody can stop you, ladies and gentlemen, unless you believe they can stop you. But yes, the bad guys are trying to stop you from all walks of life. Your friends get jealous. People you don't know get jealous. They try to affect your success. It's all over the place, but you just have to have the mindset. You're not going to give up. You're going to make it happen. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is 90% of the battle for anybody to be successful, that you don't give up, that you figure it out. There's going to be obstacles along the way. All right. So I'm talking about that tonight. So I then went off. Yes, ma'am. Exactly. Here we are. Here we go. Obsidian Lion, the code keepers in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. And he has the icon next to his name. And he says, I hear you, oh great Sultan. Oh, thank you so much, trying to soak up the knowledge. Well, I went off a little left tonight. Some people it's hard to hear, but I had to go in on it because thank you for the Sultan. of financial freedom tag, SOFF, SOFF. Like I said, I'm not bashful about that. I'll take the soft title because it means Sultan of Financial Freedom, the No Guru Zone, the No Academy. We don't have an academy around here, ladies and gentlemen. SSN University, SSN Academy is free. All you have to do is soak up a little knowledge. All you have to do is watch a little videos. All you have to do is check out the description box down below in the video and get your free stocks from Robinhood. Get your free Bitcoin from Coinbase. Get your free crypto, ADA, Shiba, Doggy Coin from Webull. Webull has stocks in crypto. So download that and you get some more free goodies. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, something that can help you. And then you can learn along the way to help you out to make decisions that you might like. All right. So thank you so much, Obsidian Line, the code keeper with the icon next to your name, Curtis Davis. You must start a business in 2022. It's mandatory, ladies and gentlemen. Starting a business is going to be mandatory. There's just no way around it. I mean, I'll keep it in real perspective because it's real out here. You start a business, there's no guarantee of success. But the problem is if you don't start a business, you're standing pat, and inflation and who knows whatever else is going to happen along the way. Because if this situation widens where more countries use the yuan, then things are going to start changing for the American system and this 100 plus years of banking and everything in America is going to have to change. And guess where that leads you? To the people's money. It could lead you to the cryptocurrency, which is going to be very, very interesting. All right. But I agree with this. You got to start your own business, your own destiny. Obsidian Line, the co-keeper. Hello, family, and the great Sultan of Financial Freedom. Thank you so much once again, the Sultan of Financial Freedom. I'll take that all day and every day. And welcome everybody here to the SSN Nation, SSN Academy, SSN University, where tuition is free because this is the No Guru Zone. Use your money to invest, ladies and gentlemen. Take that risk. Take that beer money risk, whatever you want to call it. If you're down with taking a risk for 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 20, 50, who cares? Whatever the number and whatever you're comfortable with, you want to take that risk, but do your own due diligence. All right. So that is it. I kind of went off tonight that I wasn't going to go down that path, but end times prophecies. Well, hey man, you touched the nerve because I'm out here on these streets watching all kind of mayhem going on, but it's people that looking like me and you getting stuff from people that look like me and you. And it's not chump change. It's not like $50. It's not like $150. They're sitting there saying, join my stock club, $5,000. Are you serious? Give that $5,000. You could have put that in a whole bunch of things. And you could have passive income coming in. What do I need to learn after I take $5,000 or $3,000 and put it into something that generates me $300, $400 a month for a year or 2 or 3 or 5? I would rather do that than tell I'm entering into your program for 5Gs and I get nothing but you're talking to me. You're not using it to generate something for me. That doesn't make any sense, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why this is the No Guru Zone. All right. Just keep that in mind. I'm going to keep saying it. And by the way, if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. And if not, that's fine. It's free also. Click that like button. Smash it. All right. I appreciate it. Good evening, Obsidian Line code keepers from Auntie Val. The future of stronger may allow folks to start with a fraction of a note. I think that's where they're going to go. During the last AMA, they discussed someone could buy 1 token, get it going. That will create buying pressure. They are exactly right. But 1 token, see, there's a correlation, I believe, because it's all theoretical to me, but I believe there's other protocols that have already allowed these lower amounts, like even a third of token and 5 coins, or I got it wrong. 1 coin plus 110%. So 1 coin and 10%, 5.35%. This is power. Then they went to what was it? The next level is 13 coins And then the next one is 75. Well, in this case, tokens. So they have a different percentage that you earn. So like one is like 0.003 for the lowest. Then it goes to I can't remember, 525, 0.025. And then the 13 goes to 10%. And then it's 10%. And then the other one is like 70%, which is kind of wild. But anyhow, that is what some other protocols already do. And so I would not be surprised by that. But there's only one thing. I don't look at it the same way as they do. Sure, more people can buy the one token, but then what good is it really? Because traditionally you buy 10 tokens and you get 10% of the coin price. You buy one token, and are you still going to get 10% of the coin price? Highly unlikely. You're probably only going to get 1% of the coin price. It's just going to be the same number. So all I'm saying is I don't see how that gets a lot more people into the protocol, because you're going to need, for every person that buys one, you would have had the same one person buying 10. So it's not like that extra one's going to matter that much, because people are compounding. That extra like $100 is not going to matter that much. Let's say 110, 111. But we're going to find out, because again, this is the frontier. The crypto frontier has begun. We don't really know what's going to happen until another year goes by and see when they reduce the amount that you need to get in and start on all these protocols, how long it's going to work, or if it's going to work at all. But we'll find out in about 6 months to a year. You'll get your evidence, you'll get your answer, but nobody knows, because it's never been done until now. All right, so there you have it. Let's see what else we're going to talk about. Hey, Auntie, showing some love from Obsidian. Vanessa Comagate, Obsidian Lion, the code keeper in the house. Evening Obsidian, showing the love. That's what we do around here. The $1 is 70 times rupee. India has been hit for years. Exactly, Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial. Exactly. This is what we're doing to other countries. Because when you have deficits, when your money is like, we deem it worthless, then we do this kind of stuff. 70 to 1. Filipino pesos, 50 to 1. See what I'm saying? Crazy stuff. I can't remember what the Dominican was, peso. I believe it was 5 to 1, I think. I can't remember. But all I'm saying is that's what we're doing to other countries, and it could reverse, where they wake up one day and go, okay, during the one, it's 70 to 1 against our dollar, our money. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. So, Auntie Val, correct. Victor Morrell, I also understand we will soon be able to sell or merge nodes and more. Oh, yeah. So let me explain, because again, what Strong is talking about, Power Nodes already does. So you can merge nodes, you can compound your nodes, which is kind of cool too. But the way they compound in Power is they say you have to have the same amount of, like you need 75 tokens. So your compound has to be at least 75. So it's like you can't just compound like 5 coins or tokens and 10. You have to have enough for the node, because they already have 4 different nodes. Like you have to have 75 tokens for one node, 13 tokens for another node, 5.75 for another node, 1.1 for another node of the token. And then they give the corresponding interest per day. So Power already does it. So I'm pretty sure that's what Strong's going to do. And you can merge your nodes also. So it's kind of cool. That's going to be a thing. All node projects, I believe, are going to go that route, because who wants to take their money out? Nobody. You don't really want to take it out. You'd rather compound it. You don't want to claim and then have to deal with the claim tax, and then you're going to buy back in anyhow. So when you compounding's for free, at least on Power Nodes, and most companies are going to do, most crypto projects are probably going to do the same thing, because the money's not leaving the platform. So why tax somebody? So it's just going to compound at no cost, which is what you want people to do, right? They can now buy more coins. So it makes sense. but will it be able to sustain itself over the long run? And again, we're not going to find out. But if you want to find out, you got to be in it to find out, or you can stand on the sidelines and find out. But if you're in it and get the token at the lower price and you hope it rises, but there's no guarantee of that either, because there's other people that will be claiming the tokens or coins, and that creates selling pressure, because there are people just like Professor Auntie Val who, let's say she had 10 nodes and she's sitting there going, okay, and I'll create this make-believe for you so you guys will understand. So let's say she has 10 nodes, and let's just say the coin price returns to like $500 a coin. So that 10 nodes means 10 times 50 is $500, right? So now every 10 days, she could get like $5,000. So she would claim, take the tax hit. Let's say it's 10%. So she has $4,500 coming in every 10 days, but it's for the sale side. So now you have the sell pressure. So we're going to find out in the long run, that means you're going to have enough people buying in to offset the sell for the pressure to go down. Because whenever you start selling a lot, and then there's some people right now that there's a guy that I can't remember. I don't know if Victor Morrell said a guy had 50 or the guy came on our live stream, but somehow there's a guy that had over 50 strong block nodes. He could literally sell every day. And you can imagine there's other people when Strong started that also has 10 nodes, 20 nodes, 30 nodes. And they're also collecting, could be $3,000 or $2,000 a day. Every other day they're cashing out. That puts pressure, making the price go down, because you have a lot of tokens or coins being sold. You also have to offset that with buying just to stay equal. So that's why it's going to be very interesting. So we're going to find out about all of this, ladies and gentlemen, but it's going to be very, very interesting. All right. Speaking of crypto, because bad guys are trying to hold you back from success, think about this. There's even things going on in crypto where Bitcoin, Ethereum, the big boys, they're trying to hold back the little boys from being successful. So when you go to these crypto, like the crypto summits and things like that, if you start talking about the altcoins, like we're talking about Strong, I just talked about power nodes, stuff like that, right? All of a sudden they're bad mouthing. They're like, oh, that's nothing. It's all going to go to zero. They start talking bad. We're the real protocol, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, wait, hold up. You guys are the ones charging people $75 to $100 or dollars or more for transactions. You're no better than the government. You're siphoning money from us. You're looking like a bad guy to me. If you were trying to help the people, that means it would be like Avalanche, Phantom Network, where it's pennies on the dollar to do transactions. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is crazy. You're acting like you're a good guy, but for every transaction that happens, you're telling me Ethereum, oh, it's $40, $35, $50, $70. Oh, congestion on the network, $75, $100. That $100 in crypto, that could be worth thousands of dollars, if not millions, because the person, that $100, that person could have put it in Strong Block when Strong Block was $7 a coin, when Strong Block was $60 a coin. Somebody could have bought 2 or 3 nodes last year. So that's what I'm saying. So for me, I take it a different way. I'm like, wait a minute, you're siphoning off wealth. You're just doing what a government does. You're taxing people. Right now, you have people that are willing to be taxed. That's the problem. Sooner or later, people are going to wake up and be like, hey, man, I want to do a 1,500. I want to do basically just what happened down in El Salvador. I want to do a $50 transaction. You're going to charge me $30 to do the $50 transaction? Really? That's crazy. So anyhow, I'm just saying, what you guys may deem as good guys, I look at as bad guys, trying to hold you back, because that's what they're doing. Because there are a few projects that are worked out in the past, and a few $100 people would have thousands of dollars coming in per month. But because they were like bad-mouthed and told people, well, they're altcoins, they all go to zero, this, that, and the other, people said, well, let me rock with Ethereum. Let me rock with BTC. And that's why they're trying to hold back the other programs. You know, we throw in ADA, we throw in Solana, we throw in XRP, you name it. All the protocols that say, hey, we do a transaction, it's only going to be pennies. Those, they just badmouth and try to keep them down. But to the credit of everybody coming out, when like Neighbors is, I believe, on Avalanche, I think, when you have other protocols like Power and Thor and all these guys on Phantom Network, Hector, you got all type of protocols on these penny blockchains where it's only the transaction 12 cents, 3 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. To me, they're the good guys. The bad guys are doing the bad mouth and then charging people to be on their blockchain. And they're not even decentralized. Okay, I didn't say that. Just check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Do your due diligence. Coming soon. Fintech that will let you get your crypto to get assets and let you swap it back. See, Wilson Koo, that's the last frontier where you don't have to cash out into fiat. That's the final frontier. That's when things are going to get real crazy for governments. They're going to make that. That's a chess move that they're going to have to deal with. All right. Preach, Eric. Obsidian Line, the code keeper. Thank you so much. I had to go off a little bit tonight. We're 1 hour, 2 minutes in. Please smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. All right, down below. By the way, remember Pastor Eric laying it down. Thank you so much. Drip Network is turning, going green bullish. Better get in now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for bringing that up, because I'm going to bring up something else, because you guys know I talked about that COTS, COTPS, and we have went from $142, and right now, as I'm on the screen, we're up to 202. So March 21st through April 8th, let me go look at this calendar. And again, I don't have the auto script on because they're doing transactions. And let me go look, see when March 21st was. That was 1 week. Oh, that's not even 2 weeks ago. So we're up to, oh, it was, wait, 21, 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks and 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 weeks, 5 days, 19 days. And we have over $50. Okay. And we started with 142. And again, I'm not even doing this even 10 times a day for the compounding. I'm only doing it probably 5 or 6 times. So anyhow, basically it's like $3. Well, right now, because it's 202, it's going to be like $6 a day if I would do it right. Every 2.5 hours, I would actually compound. We would be at $6 a day off of that. So that's not bad at all. It's still working. But again, we're only at 2 weeks and whatever. And hey, what can I say? That's an option. But now we have Drip Network. And what we're going to talk about, in fact, you guys know how we do this here. Let me go. Let me see. I don't have it teed up anywhere. Let me go pull up Drip. I'm going to go to this stream. I'm going to go to this screen here anyhow. Let's go see what Drip is. It was around 31, 32. That's where they were. So let's go check this out. Let's go check this out. So now they're up to 35. So on CoinGecko. So we're up to 35 now. So yeah, it could be turning. I agree. We can all hope. I am still not in. Oh, by the way, I gotta. Unfortunately, Joshua Felder, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find out about Drip Network, you earn 1% per day because you want financial freedom. 1% every day. You can compound, but I have not signed up with Drip Network. So I went over because I have money locked up on the Ethereum network. The only reason I have money locked up is because I have like DAI and it's on my Ethereum network. I have Maker. It's on the Ethereum network. I have different coins on the Ethereum network. And whenever I try to transfer it, I keep seeing these stupid fees like $70, $60. And I'm like, this is crazy. So for each one of them coins, I'm about to burn off $200 or $300 because I have 4 or 5 different coins in my wallet. And I can't fathom that. So then I figured out, okay, let me go check out this BNB, which is what Drip takes. And also a new program came out. I believe it was Wall Street Finance that Joshua Felder mentioned. So I went over there and I said, hey, their coin price is like it's a point, and it had like 4 or 5 zeros on the pre-sale and then a number. So I was like, damn, even like you guys know, whenever there's 5 or 6 zeros or 4 zeros in front, I say, okay, throw $50 in there. You'll have, a couple million of tokens. So if something happens, cool, you'll be good. Well, they use BNB. Then I was like trying to load up BNB, and I was like, okay, it looks like I'm not going to be on Drip Network, and I'm not going to be in Wall Street Finance because I've got to run through this BNB stuff. And the way I do it, I'm not jumping through hoops trying to use Change Now, Changely, doing all this stuff. My cards don't work. I'm just like, enough. I'm going to just stick with the guys that make it simple and cheap. AVAX Network, Phantom Network, all the cheap networks, we're hanging with them. So, and I can swap. So I'm like, why bother? So it looks like I won't ever be getting into Drip, and I won't be getting into the Wall Street Finance either, because the BNB thing I'm not even going to bother with, unless I will say this: if I leave the country, then I will, because I can use the real Binance. I don't have to use Binance.us. But anyhow, here we go. There we go. But anyhow, that's the deal with that Drip Network. But anyhow, Drip Network for everybody. Do your due diligence. You earn 1% ROI per day. And again, that's not bad. And you don't have to buy 10 of the coins. You could just, it's 35.53. You have to have at least one BNB to get into Drip. And there's going to be a link. In fact, I don't have a link. Okay. I don't have a link down below in the description, but if anybody wants to find out about it, let me see if I can put the link in the chat room. So then that way, anybody watching the replay can check it out. But I do have, hold up here. Let me see if I can copy. Just a second. I got to get something. Okay. I don't know what that was. All right. Sorry about that. I got to get some things here situated, but it's all right. I'm going to drop this in the chat room so that way you can see it. For the Drip Network, this is a referral code because you have to be referred. You can search the channel for the Drip Network because Joshua Felder actually showed you how you can deposit and get into the Drip Network. And so, yes, I believe it has potential as well, but you got to do your own due diligence. Hello, Wilson Koo from Obsidian Lion, the Code Keeper, showing the love. Curtis Davis, yes, you too, scammer everywhere. Exactly. Stella Luna, good eve, fam. Thank you. Vanessa Haig, Curtis Davis, showing the love. Don't calm down. We need this. Obsidian Lion, the Code Keeper. Thank you so much, man. Tulsa, yeah, exactly. Hey, Auntie Val, how is it going? Yep. So was it a scam? Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. I don't know what to call it, but all I do know is if I tell you that I'm going to give you 5% or 6% or 7% a month on your money, and I'm going to start in 2 years, and I told you this in 2018 or 19, and here it is 2022, and all they did was give out money like one time. I don't know what to call it, but that one time was less than if the person would have just put the $500 in the stock market into a dividend fund. They would have gotten more. And they would have been receiving it every month if the dividends issued every month, or every 3 months for the last 2 years while he wasn't giving out any dividends. So I don't know what to call it. I call it a scam, but hey, other people may call it whatever. But all I'm saying is you don't make promises of 6% every month when you invest and then it's a year later and you're like, sorry, we didn't make no money, but yet you're out there buying a $700,000 house. What are you talking about? You're buying some other stuff that has nothing to do with getting a return on investment. You didn't buy any real estate. Come on, that's crazy. Because of the filing, people can look it up. Because of what their corporation is under, you can look it up. You can see their filing, and you're sitting there going, I thought you were buying up the block. How do you collect like 8 million or 10 million and then you don't even buy real estate? That's what I thought the purpose was. You were buying the block, so then you have a return on your investment so you can give money back to the investors. What's wrong with that? So to me, yeah, that's a scam. That's crazy. Very well, Stella Luna, hope you are the same. Love it. Love it. Get the likes up, my family. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. Hey, Vanessa, always nice to see the ladies here and to say hello. All right. Minority on minority scamming is so very hurtful to our communities. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate, because you're already taking money off the table. You don't understand. Let's just use the minorities in America. I went over this last week and I can't actually remember the numbers. But remember, the top 10% has 16 times the wealth of minorities. And minorities would include Black, Hispanic, Asian, right? 16 times the wealth. How are you going to catch up when somebody has 16 times the money you have? So if you have 1,000, they have 16,000. If you have 1 million, they have 16 million. How are you going to catch up? Because your 1 million can only buy, even if I said I break it down into $250,000 for some multifamily complexes, well, they can do that. We can do it 4 times. They can do it 16 times, 4 times, 64 times. So how are you going to catch them? You can't. So you're always going to be held back because they're going to have the financial strength. You're not going to be able to catch up. So that 16 times, which turns out to be 64, let's just call it $1 million properties, they turn that into 64 million, and all you have is 4 million. So don't be fooled. That 16 times number is actually more than 16 times, because if you do the equal transactions one time, they just got $64 million worth of property. All you got was $4 million worth of property. Now you're understanding why you can't get ahead? You're being held down. So when you're not working together with, let's call it minorities or people that look like you, whatever you want to use the terminology, this is what happens. And then when you're scamming the people within the same place where the wealth comes from, you stole it and took it out of circulation, you're no better than the oppressors. Come on. All right. Give me 1,000. I'm sitting in line, the code keeper. That's right. Getting hot in here. I love it. Hey, man, that's what it's got to come down to sometimes. It's real in the field. You can't be talking like things are all lovey-dovey. It's not. I'm sitting in line, the code keeper, and I will turn that 1,000 to 100,000. Vanessa Comagate, that's how you got to do it. You got to be the one that makes the walk happen, and it is doable, but don't tell me I'm going to turn 1,000 into 100,000 in a month, in a week, in 10 hours. Not going to happen. That's the problem that I'm having. You got a lot of people out there telling you, give me 1,000, invest in this course, buy this thing, and I'm going to show you how you can have $100,000 by the month, end of the month. I'm like, wait, man, that's why don't you just tell people they're going to have to put in the work? All right. And I thought you were wealthy already, so why are you charging people? Simple. Auntie Val, yes, ma'am. Thankfully, all is well. Thank you. Wow, what did I miss? Lots of love. Good evening, fam. Utan G is back. He done missed the heat. Yes, you missed the heat, man. I'm sorry. Welcome back to the SSN Nation Friday Night Live Stream with the icon next to the name. Member of the channel. Thank you so much. And by the way, don't miss our Monday night live stream, ladies and gentlemen. It's at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the SSN Nation Money Making Mondays. So you got to be here. Good evening, Utan G. All right. Utan G evening. Showing the love in the house. I'm pumped. I'm sitting in line, the code keeper. Hey, man, we got to be pumped. By the way, speaking of something, there's something that came out called Alpha Nodes. And their coin price, speaking of just going off the, I just couldn't believe it. They're running on the, in fact, let me show you my dashboard. This is funny as heck. I'm not connected, but let me connect up. They're on the Avalanche network. This is totally a little different. So I bought me some, I don't remember what I did on the Avalanche network. So I basically are using Avalanche's gas fees. So I was down to like $13 or something like that of AVAX left after I did some transactions. So I'm going to show you guys something. I did like $6 or $7 on this Alpha Nodes just to see what would happen. And this is very interesting what happened because they're doing different projects. This is interesting. They're not doing strong though, but look at this down here. So it's 2 cents UDC. So this is very interesting because you can get paid out rewards in USDC. So that in itself is pretty cool. Or if you're in other projects, so yes, it does say 927 million alpha tokens. But the thing is, that's only like $7 or something like that. All right. It's not like anything major, but their token has like 6 or 7 zeros in front of the point. 0.6, there's 6 zeros or 7 zeros, and then the coin price. But nonetheless, it compounds to all of these. Look, Thor. I don't even know what this Project X2 is. I don't know what Fire is, but I do know Vapor because I talked about Vapor nodes. That was in the high risk, one of the high risk, high rewards video. Polar, I don't know who that is, but by investing in Alpha, you are there. Somehow it goes into these other protocols in their coins. They have deals. So I'm earning. So if I had to put actual, money in there, then this would be higher. But all I'm trying to say is I was just wanting to see what would happen because this is very, very interesting. All of these are on, I guess, the AVAX network, and you're earning the rewards in their tokens. Or you can collect in USDC if you wanted to. So they give you like 2 options. I thought that was pretty cool. And then you guys might have known about the Powerful Dragons NFTs that came out. They had a promotion for them where they were doing the 40 FTM Phantom tokens. 40 Phantom tokens got you an NFT. Those NFTs called Powerful Dragons, they're going to actually earn rewards down the road. And they're, of course, talking the play to earn model for NFTs. Everybody's talking that play to earn stuff. But I just wanted to let you guys know about this alpha because it's kind of interesting. And I don't know if I'll ever throw some, hundreds, thousands into this to see what would happen because I don't know about any of these other projects. But I thought it was very interesting, and you're earning all the time and you can compound rewards. So I thought that was pretty cool, but they just came out. It's like, I don't even think they're 2 months old. So, and they're rolling out kind of slow, which is another thing because they have other plans, but check it out on the Discord group. So anyhow, let me see if I miss putting the link for Drip Network. That's Joshua Felder's link in the chat room, just so you guys know. So anyhow, just want to point that out. All right, we're back. Okay, we're going to have to run a little video here, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday night. You know how we do this. I don't have a new video, so I'm going to have to make one next week. And SSN Lifestyle, there'll be some new things popping out next week on that as well. We got to get busy. Here we go. Let's go to the Playboy. Some people may have not seen this one, so let's go with this one.
People call me the champ. That's not true. I'm a champ a long time ago. This is the champion, David Chu. Say hello. David Chu. Hello, everyone. Tell us what's the tournament that you just won a ridiculous amount of money in?
Well, what's the WPT?
Yeah, WPT where? How much did you win? 3.4. 3.4 million dollars. David Chu just came home with. You're amazing. Amazing. Yeah, Yes, let's give a hand for David Chu. We have David Chu here. Just won $3.4 million.
Can you break it 24 minutes?
How we doing? How's the table? Oh my God, Brett Butler's here. Brett Butler and I have a lot of history. He's the man who got absolutely no cards at the final table when we were together. It was unbelievable. I got so unbelievably lucky, and he got nothing sick. It was really sick. This man should have won a hell of a lot more money. But how much did you win at the World Series, David? For real? He won $3.2 million, and he got absolutely no cards, got completely screwed, and I felt really bad, but it's not that bad. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. You're playing against Glenn Turvin, who's one of my old clients. Glenn is one of the great actors of our time. Glenn's been nominated for an Emmy this year for his HBO movie. You gotta come and talk to Glenn. You didn't recognize Glenn Turvin in your next to? Crazy. I'm so sorry.
Oh, hiding out on me, man. Oh, my goodness.
Of course. Glenn, I miss you so much. We have Glenn Turvin in the house, everybody. Tell us about the movie that you're doing. You just did great feel. You're nominated for an Emmy this year.
Well, HBO put me up for the nomination.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you got to have fun in life because bad guys are trying to hold you back from fun and success and financial freedom, but you don't have to let them. You can have fun and success along the way. You just have to start making it happen now. You have to take risks now. The younger you are, the better. But that doesn't mean the older you are that you can't take risk as well. Because again, let's put things in perspective. If you're not 20, you expect to live for another 50, 60 years, right? And then once you start to get into 60s, all of a sudden you're thinking something might happen to me sooner than later. But when you really start thinking about it, because of technology and the way you eat is a little bit different, there's ways that you can eat better, exercise easier, and things like that. You're going to live like another 20 years. 20 years is another lifetime. You don't know what is going to happen in the next 20 years. And especially if the economy crumbles, now you're going to start making U-turns and all kind of different decisions would be made than being in that comfortable zone. So again, lifetimes start now. It doesn't matter the age, just start. Okay. Just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, because bad guys are out here trying to mess with you. You're getting those phone calls on your cell phone. You're getting those scammers trying to tell you, hey, you know what, DMing you saying, hey, there's a problem with your MetaMask with regard to crypto, but we're here to help you. Let's get your seed phrase, so we can help you out. You're getting them calls that says, hey, your Microsoft isn't working well. We need to come in. Let me share the screen with me. Let me get control of your screen and your computer. You guys know about all that. Bad guys trying to hold you back from success. And that's people that are taking your wealth away. That's money that you could be using for your financial freedom in the future for your family. All right. So keep all that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. All right. You know what I'm talking about. Let's see here. I'm pumped. Eric, I am sure there are bad apples, but I promise you the majority of police just want you and I want to get ahead, serve, and take care of their families. My son is a police officer in Texas. Yeah, Victor Marrero. Here's the funny part. I understand what you're saying, but see, there's two different Americas. You have to understand, everything is set up from a race-related situation. Freeways in a city. The reason why police had to be set up in the first place was just like how China is setting up their police in African nations right now. The same thing, because once you set up the police to police the population that you want, that police then can dictate who's going to be arrested, who's going to be not arrested, who's going to be messed with indefinitely, who's not going to be messed with. And all I got to say about police is one thing. All I want to know is, and like when I was a kid, I would always say the same thing as I'm saying right now. Why is it that cops, when they hang out, the guys that are, used to ride around with that stuff on the side of their car, serve and protect, why is it that when they go out to drink and have fun and all that, Why do they go to the bars that only the majority they hang out in? Why is that? That's what I always wanted to know. I always thought that odd for these guys that run around to serve and protect and be our friends, because where I come from, they ain't serving and protecting. That's all I'm saying. All right. And I didn't come from a hood environment neither. I would call it middle class environment. It don't matter if you're a minority. You're getting jacked. You're going to have stuff planted in your ride. You're going to be hemmed up on the side of the road. And here we are in 2022. And we have video now. And you already see, with or without body cameras, people are getting shot, strangled, killed, murdered. No problem whatsoever. Get off in a court of law like it's the thing. I'm just saying, sure, you can say there's good apples, but here's the problem. When the guy's standing on George Floyd's neck, 3 other cops are sitting there. Not one of them goes, hey, man, wait, whoa, what's this all about? Dude's already on the ground. Get up off of him. Well, he's handcuffed. What's the problem? He ain't doing nothing. There's 4 of us here. See, and then you're going to say, well, those other 3 dudes, what? They were good guys. They didn't do it. I'm like, oh, wait, they're not good guys to me. They didn't intervene. They didn't say, get the hell off of them. When the guy's out in front selling cigarettes, they're strangling this dude in chokehold. None of them said, hey, get him off of him. All of them piled on and joined in. So you can sit back and say, the Monday morning quarterback, hey, yeah, my son-in-law, my brother-in-law, my brother, cousin, uncle, they're all good guys. But I'm like, here's what the good guy looks like. The good guy looks like the one that's going down when he sees wrong is being done. That's when I'm going to sit up there and say, okay, you're right. But I get no love for, I don't really care who's doing good. All I know is every time somebody's doing bad, everybody's just standing there cheering it on as far as who's wearing that cop uniform. People at the end of a cul-de-sac, he's mentally challenged. He's sitting in a car at the end of a cul-de-sac. 10 cops, guns drawn. Not one of them's going, hey, man, why you guys got your guns drawn? There's only one of him. We're standing behind cars. What's going to happen? Oh, even if he has a gun and he shoots it, we're behind vehicles. So what? And we have vests on. But instead, we got to unload on the cat. The kid jumping fences in Sacramento, running away from the cops, gets behind his house, riddled with bullets because they had to jump over fences to go try and catch him for no crime really committed. Well, let's say there's a crime committed. He didn't kill nobody. Let's just put it that way. He's dead. Hey, I got a car in the trunk. I mean, I have the police pull me over, not me, pulls over my girlfriend. And this isn't me, but pulls over my girlfriend. Cops come up to the side of the car. Do you have any weapons in the vehicle? Oh, yeah, well, I'm an upstanding citizen. I don't have weapons up front. I have the weapons in the trunk. Ordinary stuff, but because you're a minority, dude's dead in the car with his wife and his kid in the back seat. That's the America that I know. So I don't really care that much that somebody else is sitting there going, well, we're all righteous. We do everything right by the books. I'm like, well, you can say that. But the problem is your buddies, the 5 or 6 or 10 buddies on the force with you, they're pulling me over for no freaking reason, jamming me up, handcuffing me up, standing there going, looking through the car. 10 minutes later, they don't find nothing, didn't plant nothing. All of a sudden, oh, yeah, you can go. What'd you stop me for in the first place? So that's the America that I know. That's the America that I've been jacked with. So that's the problem that I have. So I understand what you're saying. They're not all bad. But again, until the good guys actually are going to take the heat, then there ain't nothing to talk about, because generally the good guys take the heat. And none of them will want to. That's the problem. The good guys know that there's bad apples in their force. But because it's a theme, they're not willing to fight the system. They're not coming in there going, hey, man, this dude done strangled this dude. This guy planted evidence. Oh, in fact, they took evidence that would exonerate the person and hid it. They don't do none of that. Oh, they cut off the body cam, but I kept mine on. None of that's happening. You see what I'm saying? So I understand where you're going with it. But again, that's not our cultural situation. And here's what's also bad guys holding you back. Let me go on top of that. I'm going back in, ladies and gentlemen. So now you have a police force policing the minorities. And in their neighborhoods, everything's all good. Somebody does something, no biggie. In the other neighborhood, you say, I'm policing you. In fact, I'm not only policing you, I'm arresting you. I'm going to a court of law. So now the court of law, Lady Justice is supposed to be blind. Well, it's not. You know why? Because I'm going to give you, as a minority in America, a harsher sentence and lock you up for longer sentences for the same crime that you let other people walk for. And those other people, white people, will walk. So don't even get me started on this, because I am a minority in America. I live this skin, walked through the valley of the death, guns pointed at you, pulled over for no reason, and all that nonsense, arrested for no reasons, all of it. So nobody can talk crazy on both sides of the fence, especially when it comes to police, especially when it comes to the United States justice system, because the same exact charge that a minority could have, if it's a white guy and a black guy, the white guy gets probation, the black guy could spend 5 years or 10 years in jail. So that's the next level. The bad guys, how do they control you? Is because they can say, okay, this guy's a threat to us, so we're going to remove him and put jackets on him, meaning charges. So then what happens? You go into a court of law and you're sitting there like, I'm innocent. They're like, we don't give a damn about you being innocent. We're going to put charges on your ass. That's what America looks like for minorities. Police ain't stepping in going, yo, man, we didn't want to do this. The DA sits there and says, so now we go to the DA. The DA knows full well people are innocent, but yet they're still charging them. And guess what else? Because the bad guys are stopping you, the DA is exonerated from prosecuting people that are innocent. Nothing happens to them. How do you have a system where you can put people behind bars, know that they are innocent, and you can still try to put them away for 20 years? And then when stuff comes out later, and you know full well the evidence showed that that person wasn't a person even in the first place, nothing happens to the district attorney and their officials, and nothing happens to them. Nothing happens to the police. Nothing happens to the DA. Nothing happens to the judge. They're still sitting on the bench jacking other people. All right. Don't even get me started, because that America, we live in America with a K. There ain't no C in America. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You guys got me tonight, because when we talk about bad guys holding you back, there's a systemic racial situation in America, and that's the bad guys holding you back. Let's get real up in here. You know we keep it real. Stop playing. All right, enough. The lack of informing yourself and having your own criteria leads to falling for these scams. Exactly, Stella Luna. That's why we have to talk about that as well, because it's not so much that. It's just the bottom line. America is built in a certain way. They're not teaching financial literacy. They're not telling you how to do your own research financially. They'll tell you, hey, you have a book report. Go find out about the Wild Wild West that they made up. I mean, it's crazy what's happening. So you have to understand, the bad guys are holding you back from success because they won't even teach you the actual real history of America or anywhere around the world. They're printing up books telling you that there was a West, a Wild West. There were cowboys. They omit to tell you who the cowboys were. And then they commit to sit there and make TV shows and movies where there's only white dudes that are cowboys. What do you think freaking slaves were going? Again, they have nerve to make the Lone Ranger a white guy with a guy Tonto. Do you know how ludicrous that is? Get real with this craziness. So when you find out that Bass Reeves is a black guy, which was actually The Lone Ranger, he was a ranger. The story was stolen and used, and everybody thinks the Lone Ranger was a white guy when it was a black guy. And the black guy spoke different languages. But you can't be told that, ladies and gentlemen, because they're trying to make sure the bad guys hold you back because they don't want you to believe that you can be successful, a certain segment of the population. Don't get me started, ladies and gentlemen. All of this, by the way, you can look up. I don't have to fake the funk up in here. You got this. You can go look it up. Bass Reeves, look it up. All right. Okay. I digress. Andrew Miller's in the house. I get a little worked up here, ladies and gentlemen, especially when there's all this bad guys out here holding people back. And that contributes to financial stifling. That does not contribute to financial freedom. Because a lot of people, just what Stella Luna says, right here, the criteria leads to falling for these scams. But you have to understand, when you have no financial literacy, you believe that you may not be as smart as somebody else. That is the whole program. You believe you're not as smart as somebody else. So therefore, you have to give over your possessions, your belongings, things of value to somebody else to go manage. That is the whole playbook and mindset, right? That's why for the longest, people were like, here's my money, 401k every month. Here's my money to the mutual fund company every month. And then you found out later, now because of the internet, now because you can get into stocks and all that for free, there's no barriers. There's no applying to get in and somebody's going to take over your brokerage account. There's none of this, oh, you got to give us $10,000, knowing full well which segment of the population is going to have $10,000 to put into a brokerage account. Come on. Let's get real. The numbers is what I'm saying. Sure, there's minorities who have $10,000 to put in a brokerage account. But the thing is, there's a lot more of another ethnic group that can have the 10,000 versus the one that won't. So therefore, that keeps you down because that money's not working for you while you sleep, like another segment of the population. So that's all I'm saying. Of course, you're going to stay ahead. So now when those barriers come down, all of a sudden, people are still not financially literate because there's no mention of financial literacy generally since you're 5 years old going to kindergarten till you're a senior in high school. Even when you get in college, you can take finance. That's about it. You can take classes. But from 0 to 17, which are the most important years, that's the years that when you're 8 years old, they should be saying, hey, check this out. This is how stocks work. They should be talking about this type of thing because that's how you create wealth. But see, bad guys don't want ordinary citizens to create wealth or know about it because they need to be able to do the okie doke. They need to be able to give you 40,000 acres and then go and tell you, because you don't know any better, hey, sign this paperwork because we're going to have you, we're going to build, sell and make some corn and wheat and all this on your land. So please sign this paper. You don't realize it's a deed that you're signing. You're thinking you're signing a contract, and all of a sudden you done lost half your acreage. Come on. Come on. We live in America. Bad guys are holding this back the whole time. And so therefore, that's why scammers can always stay ahead, because financial literacy in this day and age is spoken, not shown. So in other words, what we do here in SSN Nation, we try to show you, hey, these are the steps you take. This is what you can do. Use your money to do this and do your own due diligence and research. That's what we're trying to do, right? But bad guys are saying, give us your money. Then we're going to do this with your money. Just like a bank, they're using your money to make them millions. They're giving you nothing in return. The same thing. That's all scammers do. They're taking your money, telling you these lofty dreams that they're going to turn that money you give them, come to our webinar seminar. You'll be able to come watch all this stuff. And we're going to tell you how to turn $1 into millions. And people believe it. And that's why you have this culture of video coming out, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Fame. They'll take the fame and forget about the rich and famous, but they'll take the famous because you can turn that into a revenue stream. Kardashians are the ones that pretty much embodies that whole thing. They've never really did nothing except just talk on video, do crazy, outlandish stuff, and kept it going for 20 plus years. Crazy. All right. Anyhow, Andreen Miller's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream with the icon next to the name. And she has her tagline, "Hi, Eric and SSN family." And whenever Andreen Miller's in the house, you guys know what's coming next. This is welcome to the SSN Nation Academy, SSN University, the No Guru Zone. That means it costs nothing because we don't have courses. We don't have ebooks. We don't charge you for a damn thing here. We just give you the information so you can use it to study a little bit more and make yourself financially free, hopefully. But you got to make investments to make that happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're right, Victor. Obsidian Line, the code keeper, says you're right. All right, agree at Victor. Marrero, I have police officer, military in my family as well. It is not all, but the few ruin the rep of those who do the job with honor. Exactly my point, Auntie Val. You exactly right. There's the ones that are out there. So you have 100 people in the workforce. You got 15% of them doing crazy activity. The other 85 is doing their jobs, being fun, being cool in the community. But see, those 15 are renegades. They're crossing the line. They're getting signed off by the boss. And then they come back to the precinct. They can't be messed with, nor can you sit there and run the red flag on them and say, hey, man, they should be investigated. They should be done up. All of a sudden, you, the bad guy, is the good guy. You're the bad guy. No, we can't do nothing to these guys. They're cleaning up the streets. We don't care by any means necessary. Come on. And I digress into one other thing. Sometimes in America, let's just put it plain and simple. Because nobody wants to put themselves in harm's way, you're not going to go to an area of town that is considered a bad area of town, because things happen in bad areas of town. Let's just face facts. So until you actually talk with until you're in that neighborhood or talking to several people that grew up in that neighborhood and we're sitting here having a conversation, you will hear stories. They will tell you the difference of where you live and police show up and where they live. There is two markedly different things that happen. All right. Just that alone. If you ever were able to do that in America, you will find out, you'll be like, what the hell's going on? You didn't know nothing about this. Let's talk about Chi-Town. All my boys in Chi-Town. Damn near murder capital of freaking United States. You guys, look. Have you ever thought about how could there be so many weapons in the minority area of town? Does anybody think about this? How about if somebody tells you, hey, man, there's a cache of weapons dropped off in the alley? You would say that's a cartoon. You would say they're lying. That's what you would say, right? But no, ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens in Chi-Town while there's the murder capital of the freaking United States, maybe even the world. It's crazy. Weapons are dropped off. You find the weapons, and all of a sudden, serial numbers are missing. There's all kind of something's going on. You can't find out where they came from. How is this possible? Oh, yeah, I know, because you guys watch TV and you're going there. They're filing off the serial numbers or some nonsense, right? Well, you do know that doesn't really matter when you have ballistics tests, right? So I'm crazy. But just keep this in your record books, all right? Dropping off weapons in minority ravaged areas where they know it's the murder capital of the world. And who's dropping off the weapons? Come on. Stop nonsense around here. This is what's going on in America. Who's dropping off drugs in Oakland? Did you see the memos about that? The FBI and all them guys, CIA dropping off drugs in minority areas. It's just like if you dropped off drugs in let's call it a white area. What's the difference? All of a sudden, fentanyl Fentanyl, we got a problem. Fentanyl. Really? Really? Yeah, because fentanyl affects another segment of the population. Now all of a sudden we got to worry. But when it had to deal with crack, coke, weed, any other drugs, heroin, and all that, oh, let's help them along. Let's jump some more in that community. Come on, guys. This isn't rocket science. Bad guys trying to hold you back. This is how they're holding you back. That's why if you're a minority, you have to flip the script. You have to go, okay, no more robbing, stealing of each other. No more robbing, stealing of anybody so they can lock you up. You got to sit there and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to use my brain and I'm going to use it financially to increase our finances. Not illegally, not anything. We're going to try and be on the straight and narrow. That's what you're going to try and do. They're still going to come mess with you when you start to become successful. That's how this goes in America. But you still can't stop and go the other route and try to go from 0 to 1 million in a week by doing it the wrong way. It's better to take your time, try to do it the right way, and you'll get there. Just don't give up. It's going to be hard. Nobody said it's going to be easy, except, the fake guru stuff. They tell you it's going to be easy, but like I always said, start your business, work hard, do what you got to do. Call me in a year. I'll see how you're doing. And then I'll say, okay, great. Keep going. Call me next year. Then we'll talk. Because in the meantime, it's going to take you 2 years, maybe. It's going to take you 3 years, maybe. And it may take longer than that, but you can't give up. Go for your goals and dreams, ladies and gentlemen. But you're going to have these bad guys trying to hold you back. And bad guys come from all different walks of life in your life. All right, enough. We're going to keep going. Keep talking about it. Facts. Not all officers are bad. It's the small foxes that spoil the vine. Exactly. Scripture. Exactly. That's exactly what happens across the board. In fact, just like what happened on the Oscars. Here you are as a minority in America, the first time the Oscars is produced by all blacks. And what happens? Will Smith shows up because Chris Rock says something about a G.I. Jane 2. Okay, great. G.I. Jane 2, it was a cool movie. What's the problem? Yeah, she's going to be in it. As far as I was concerned, knowing how Hollywood works, I thought it was almost a shout out so they could put her in G.I. Jane 2. I didn't think it was bad, but I damn sure didn't think that some actor would get up on stage and slap somebody on live TV and then go sit back down and start cursing. I damn sure wasn't expecting nothing like that, but it happened. And so there are some people that say he's defending his wife. Okay. I don't know where people have been over the last 10 years or so, but she hasn't exactly been standing up for Will's best interests. Let's just put it that way. But all I do know is that was so tame as far as G.I. Jane 2, hope to see you in it or whatever he said. That wasn't even worth this embarrassing Will Packer, the production crew, actors, minorities, and all that. That wasn't worth that. And so now the fallout will begin, and you don't know what that fallout's going to be. But Hollywood, as you know, is a fickle place. So once again, that right there, I call uncalled for. We could have talked about it afterwards, but they know each other too, which is even worse. They've known each other for years. It's not like this was some comedian that they never seen before. He's joked about their stuff before because they have it on the open platforms. So I'm like, wait, that's crazy to me. I'm sorry. And for a greater cause, which again, greater cause, ladies and gentlemen, as a minority, sometimes you forget there's a greater agenda, a greater cause. All right. Enough, because we're about to be on some stuff in a minute. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Auntie Val says she agreed. And look who's in the house. Gino Shemiente is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for being in the house. He says, hello, everyone. Hello to you too, Gino Shimiente. How things have been going. I appreciate you being here. Good evening at Gino Shimiente. I am firm believer of working in silence. Stella Luna, I agree with you. That's a good thing. That's exactly right. Brian P's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. And once again, with the icon next to the name, and he says, hello, Eric. I got the notification and video. Hello, SSN family. That means it's 5 people. We have not even reached the record, close to it, but that's 5 people tonight. 1 hour, 50 minutes in, and you guys got me heated tonight. In fact, I got myself heated because I was talking about bad guys trying to hold you back. Those bad guys come from all walks of life. Let's get down to the other bad guys. How about this, ladies and gentlemen? Your own family members. You're out here trying to do something, trying to be positive, trying to be successful, and your own family members may say, you can't do that. Why would you want to do that? You are doing it wrong. You can't make it happen. All the derogatives. Instead of saying, go for it. Instead of saying, let me try to help you. Not all families are like that. Not all family members are like that. You may have one family member that says you can't do it. Another family member says, hey, let me try and help you. But again, you may have family members that try to hold you back from what you're trying to do, that don't believe in you. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you're a go-getter, you'll have a few people on the sideline saying, no, it can't be done. No, I've never heard anybody do that before. So you shouldn't even try it. All of those type of things come along, trying to hold you back from success. Think about it. You're going to have to be the beacon of your own success. You have to decide if you're trying to do this by any means necessary, or you're going to let somebody else dictate to you without you even trying that you can't do it out of thin air, just because they can't fathom that it can be done, but you could have done it. And then you don't do it because you're listening to the choir over here. 5 people told you it can't happen. It won't work. So you're like, okay, I won't even bother. So again, I call that bad guys trying to hold you back from success. So think about it, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to let anybody hold you back, right? Because nobody's coming to save you. All right? Get with the program. But I agree. Moving silent. Hey, Eric, got the notification. All right. I'm going off on the deep end tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You guys, some of you might not like this conversation, but it's okay. We can go back and forth. You have your point of views. I can say mine. That's how we do it here in the SSN Nation. Nobody's wrong. Just take that information and we're having conversation. I like it. Auntie Val, yes, Stella Luna, never let them see you coming. There you go. That's it exactly. That's it exactly. Because what they term now is haters. There's always been haters. Because if somebody sees you successful, even after they told you couldn't do it, they'll be like trying to figure out a way to undermine you. You just never know where things come from. Siphoning off wealth, $75. Exactly, Curtis Davis. That's what's happening. As far as I'm concerned, you guys, you have to understand, we're in an era that's unlike any other. Up until the last 5 years, this is about the only time, other than when the internet turned into where PayPal was able to process payments, that somebody could turn into having $5, $3, no money, and turn that into hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. And now with crypto, you have another financial frontier, and now you have another opportunity where $50, $20, $10 could blossom into millions. You just never know. 13 years ago, when people heard of BTC and it was 3 cents, 5 cents, 1 cent, nobody knew what it was. That somebody has thousands of Bitcoin that are worth millions of dollars that they didn't even think was going to be anything. But 10 years later, all of a sudden, they are multi-millionaires. Those are the things that happen. But if you listen to people back then, it was the same thing. Nah, that's never going to be anything. I was in the camp of you never know what's going to happen. So let me buy $10 worth of this little BTC stuff. And then because it was so hard to do stuff, I was like, I'm not going to sit on my computer and try to make these transactions, wait on this stuff to come back. People sending me these numbers and words and all this stuff. It didn't make any sense because there weren't any exchanges. There wasn't a MetaMask. There was none of that. So now, of course, mine's lost. But the point I'm trying to make is you never know what's going to happen in the future. So you can't sit there and be going, hey, I'm going to listen to this person tell me crypto's going to be worthless. It's going to happen. Some things are going to be worthless. Nobody knew that Blockbuster was going to be out of business when they had stores all around the world, damn near. Well, all in the United States. They had a lot of stores in most communities. You couldn't have told anybody at that time that Blockbuster would be out of business in 5 to 10 years. They would have said, man, you're smoking something. And sure enough, it happened. Just like nobody would have said Kmart's going to go out of business. Nobody would have said Sears is going to go out of business. Nobody would have predicted none of that. So times change, and you never know what new thing can help you. Good evening, Brian P. from Professor Auntie Val. Gino's in the house. Everybody's showing Gino some love tonight because Gino is the truth by Vanessa Comagate. Exactly. And here we are. That fintech will also be having POS devices for use in all the stores. Oh, my. Wilson Koo, man, why are you teasing us with all this stuff, but you never send me an email? Come on. Give me an email. Are these guys out? By the way, Black Steel, in case you guys, I was hopeful with Black Steel. We had the CEO on. I got to do something because, as you guys know, okay, cool. It's not urgent. Airbnb, we're back in biz with that, so I have to do some things on Fridays. I got any Airbnbs on Fridays or Saturdays. Sometimes people are trying to do last-minute check-ins, so I got to make sure it's all good. It's for next week. Somebody's trying to find something. But the Black Steel CEO, he was here. They were trying to be a fintech to give everybody credit. It's crowded. He sent me an email. No investing into that. And they have pivoted into something else. They're not doing the Black Steel card. They're not doing any of that. So sadly, they're not going to be able to do anything on that route. They're doing something else. I haven't looked at the something else. But again, that's why sometimes you just don't jump in something right away. You have to let it float a little bit to see ultimately what's going to happen, because it was a crowded area with Tomo credit card, X1 credit card, Benjamin Finance. All these cards are coming out. And so sooner or later, there was going to be too big of a area, too many people in the same sector. That was going to be a problem. So they decided to pivot to something else, unfortunately. All right. So let us know what this fintech is, please. Stella Luna, you got it, Auntie Val. All right, let's see. Gino Scimmiente starting to talk stocks. Bought more oil stocks on top. What I have still going higher than 130 plus. That's very interesting. Gino Scimmiente is sold on the oil going higher. I would not think the oil would go higher. So that's very, very interesting. Because are you thinking because of Saudi Arabia and Russia and China using the yuan, doing their own oil and, well, dollar currency deals, you think that that's going to create the oil to go higher because they're going to actually not use the oil from Russia? We know that could happen, but the OPEC and Saudi Arabia, they're not going to reduce any oil to any of the European or United States or anybody like that, I wouldn't think. So I'm curious why you think it would go higher to like 130. That's pretty high. Stella Luna, random thought. I invested in Hector Dow, but I'm under the impression that they knew all along the price would come down so low. They are too calculated and structured to not have known. Exactly, Stella Luna. Exactly. First of all, here's what I'm going to say with regard to crypto. Because this talk about prices going down, just like anything that has to do with markets. First of all, the Dows promised at the time, like I can't remember what they were, 300,000 APY, 200,000, whatever it was, 80,000, 70,000, 50,000. It doesn't matter what the number was. It was outrageous. But the thing is, all the DAOs came out last year pretty much. They didn't have any track record. So nobody knew what would happen if the crypto market went down and all coin prices come down. Now we know what's going to happen if you have a DAO. If you have a node, you know if the crypto market goes down, nodes are going down, DAOs are going down. What I mean, the coin prices are coming down. There's no way to predict it. And crypto prices, just like stock market, is based on demand of the stock, demand on the crypto. You're going to have less demand when everybody's selling, so the price has to come down. Then when you have people not believing that the price can go back up, you don't have a demand for people to buy that coin or that stock. So therefore, the stock can't rise. It's just going to keep either going down, move sideways, come up a little bit, but it's not really going to go back up 3x, 5x, 10x all of a sudden. It has to do something. But what I like about Hector is they're still doing something regardless of their coin price. So they're just basically in the crypto winter range. Some are still going down. Just like, again, nobody knew Strong Block was going to go down because it still stayed there at 450, 500, 600. It stayed there for the longest, even though crypto and DAOs were being decimated. Node projects decimated, but Strong stood strong. And then when they announced that they were going to start this stronger thing, all of a sudden people were like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, something different. Maybe we don't know what's going to happen. So people started selling and the price started going down. And then once it starts going down, people are like, okay, I'm going to bail out. And by right, some people should, because they were able to get nodes at $50 or $500 for 10 coins. And the price was still 200, 300 dropping. And they were like, wait a minute, I can bail out and make a nice profit still. Plus I got all this commission or passive income for the last year. So, so you have reasons why coin prices go down. So that I don't know so much that any project knows their coin prices go down, because it's not in their best interest for coin prices to go down. Their best interest is to make sure prices go up. And all you can do is increase demand. But the way DAOs and nodes and all those NFT projects are being formed, it's almost like startups. People, like, you're investing in them early, and then you're finding out later if it works. That's basically what all this is. So that's why I can't say Hector, for instance, knew that their price was going down. Nobody knew that the crypto prices were going to drop as much as they have. 90% pretty much in a lot of cases, 95%, or out of business altogether. Because I'm reading the same thing on like Twitter and Discord groups, and people are acting like the developers can influence the price. And I'm like sitting there explaining, I'm like, it's supply and demand. And since they can't create anything out of thin air like the federal government, there's no way that you can increase the price other than make the project better. You have to come up with something that's better, that people want to actually be in the project or buy your token or coin. That's just the way it is. And that's why Wall Street operates different than anything else, because it's based on your revenue numbers, based on your profits, based on your sales. And so therefore, there's a bunch of things that influence it. But that's why businesses are trying to squeeze out as much profit and revenue they can, because as far as shareholders go and people buying their stock, they need performance. And that means people will buy your stock. And that's how it generally works. So it goes the same way. The Drip community, if you want to get in, that's a referral code for Joshua Felder, Gino, what's up at Curtis Davis. They raised enough capital in the beginning to continue developing their project, but I don't see it going up so high again. What are your thoughts? Still Luna. I like Hector. I did not withdraw to Hector. I'm still invested in Hector. Didn't do anything. I like what they're doing. They made a stable coin for themselves. They made a Hector bank. They're also coming out where their bank can give loans and lending, just like a normal bank. They're still doing the staking. They have the auto staking. I mean, I love everything that they're doing. As far as their price going back to 400 or 500 or 300 or 200 a coin, nobody knows. Again, we're not even a year in. They're not even a year old. So we're going to find out this year sometime what's going to happen. But I would say if they are going to keep doing what they're doing, I would think their coin price will rise. But again, it's going to depend on the whole crypto market in itself. If the crypto market all of a sudden had a bum rush like it did in the past, where all of a sudden BTC goes from 49,000 and it goes back up to 65,000, then everybody rises back up and everybody's feeling good. And so that's how it pretty much works. So when that occurs, we'll find out what happens. But as long as these Ethereum and BTC, the stalwarts, as long as they continue to do what they're doing, up, down, up 2 steps, down 1 step, and the projects are all new, I think we're going to be in this no man's land for a little bit. But all it takes is just a little bit of spark, a little bit of people saying, hey, you know what, this is going to work, a little confidence. And that's what we don't have a Federal Reserve in the crypto space. So you don't have nobody's talking about, well, we're going to reduce interest rates and make it all good. You can't do that with crypto. So I think Hector's going to be fine. But I also think it's a bargain right now. And I bought in some more into Hector actually about 10 days ago. And so that's how much I believe in it. I think it's going to work out fine. But again, nobody really knows. They haven't been around even a year. Gino, LNG natural gas up 40% over the last 6 months. Curtis Davis, that's why you got to go check out his channel. Chili Davis, ladies and gentlemen. He drops these gems over there too. That's right. Curtis Davis, the scammers make sure they get paid. Then they put all these clauses for investor to get paid. Exactly. Stella Luna, hey, Wilson. Anchor Protocol. Okay. Victor Marrero has mentioned Anchor Protocol a lot. Has 19.49% interest on stablecoin UST. Celsius is 7.1 on stablecoin USDC. I don't use a traditional bank for saving anymore. You'll be lucky to get 0.5% annually. Exactly the point. The banks are taking your money, using your money, and giving you nothing. Meanwhile, you have protocols like he's saying, Anchor, Celsius Network. I don't even know if I have Celsius Network down below, but I might have a link for Celsius Network. You can get these type of returns, even though some people may consider those small. But if you're getting 0, you're not even getting 1% of the bank. So 7% is a hell of a lot more than 0.05 or 0.7. I mean, that's crazy. And the funny part about this is, look at this. He's talking about 0.5%, which is 0.005. You could be in an NFT project. Again, I got to always plug the neighbors lately because they're new. We don't know what's going to happen with them. But the neighbors will give you 0.003. They'll give you 0.006 and 0.1. So, I mean, you can get more through crypto than you can a bank daily. Daily, you can get more from that a bank will give you annually. It's incredible what potential there is here for the people's money, the OCs coming out of nowhere, but you've got to take a chance. That's the problem. Facts, taking from the least, the scammers. Exactly. Because those are the people that need help the most. Victor, what are the risks, if any, of saving in Celsius? I have looked into it, but still haven't gone through with them. Stella Luna, Celsius Network is basically you hodl your crypto there and they give you interest every day on your crypto. And then every Monday, they give you from Friday to Friday, whatever they've earned, they earn interest from Friday to Friday, they release to you on Monday to compound every Monday. And then now, once again, on Monday, you're earning rewards, interest every night again, and then Friday to Friday. So that's how they do it. And Nexus and Celsius, BlockFi, all these guys, if you build up a war chest in there, you can borrow against it. No credit check, no qualifying. Use it as collateral. Your repayment plan is none. You just sign up and say, hey, I want to borrow this for 3 years. Long as it's interest only kind of thing, but it's like you pay it back in 3 years. You can wait till your 36th payment to pay it back if you want to. Otherwise, you don't have it, no payments. So, and if you borrow a low enough rate at Nexo, you can have 0%. But it has to be something like 20, 25%. But nonetheless, that's what it's all about. It's pretty simple. Just like putting money in a bank, except it's crypto. All right, you need to take profit, LNG, sold it and bought it again. That's what you need to do, Curtis. Take money off the table. Exactly. Gino Chimiente is a proponent of taking the profits while you can. Don't mess around. If you got 20, 30% in a month, in a week, in 3 days, he's like, I'm taking it. I can always buy back in, but you cannot always get profit if you stay in too long and it drops down. So here we are. Been pulled over by cops twice. One time in broad daylight for no reason. You fit the description. Exactly. You got that right. Boss is preaching tonight. Thank God for cameras to show the truth. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate. You're exactly right. This is what's good about America. We can completely disagree. I am on the opposite side. I am also minority, and look where I am, top 10%. May I suggest that we leave politics out of this channel? Victor Marrero, geopolitical. Yeah, I know. Every now and then I got to go off, but you're right. Politics is not a good spot, but hey, sometimes we got to talk about it. That's the way I look at it. We all can talk about it. We're all like mentally stable, I would hope. And everybody has their points of view, no matter which side of the fence you're on. So I have my point of view. You can have your point of view, and we can still talk in different areas about different things. But yeah, I know I went off a little bit, but hey, that's how we have to do it around here, because that all goes hand in hand with your psyche sometimes. On why you do certain things a certain way has to do with interaction with different sectors of our society. So that's why I have to sometimes get into it, but that's right. All right, Eric, there we go. Fam, this is a sensitive and painful reality. We do experience two different Americas. Exactly. That's exactly right. And so that's why here, Stop Struggling Now Nation, it's across the board. But that little two different Americas actually affects everybody. Everybody's affected by having a different America for different sectors, different groups, ethnic groups in America. That affects everybody. There's laws on the books that shouldn't be there just to try to affect one segment of the population, but then the other segment of the population gets caught up too. So that's what I'm saying. Dropping facts about Lone Ranger, institutional lies, deception. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Facts. 0 to 17 years old should be taught finance and stocks. Exactly. But again, bad guys trying to hold you back. How do you hold back somebody? Hey, tell them to go to learn about biology. That's fine. Somebody might, want to be a doctor. Learn about rocks. Okay, somebody might want to be in archaeology or something. Learn about history in Europe. I'm like, okay, that's not going to help me. I'm like, what are we talking about here? Art class. Okay, I'm not interested in art. What am I doing here? Where's the business class? Where's the financial class? There isn't one. And that tells you what you need to know about bad guys trying to hold you back, because if they really did care about education and the success of everybody, you would say, we would be in like 8th grade and they would come to you and say, this is how you start a business. This is how you form a business. This is when you go down to the Secretary of State and you fill out these papers, and this is how you start a business. This is where you get your EIN number. This is how you file your taxes. All of this would be like 7th, 8th grade for the next 4 or 5 years and stair step it. This is how you form a corporation, and then you have stocks and bonds, and you can get bonds if you deal with the city or state or government. They could do a whole thing in those last 4 or 5 years. So when you get out, you would be able to move forward and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to start my own business the right way, or I'm going to go to college, or I'm going to go work for somebody else. You would be so much further along and clearer on what your goals would be, because now you at least know what it's going to take. It would be beautiful. Be beautiful. Obsidian Lion, the co-keeper. I love the dialogue. That's exactly it, man. We have to have dialogue here, because you never know what's going to happen. I need this. Thank you so much, Obsidian Lion, the co-keeper. Eric, keeping me woke. I'll take that. as well. Curtis Davis, crypto has changed people's lives since 2016. People had 8K Bitcoin, today 112K in USD. Exactly. In Miami, they're having second major crypto conference. That's correct. NFT Miami, I believe it is. 4 or 7 years will go by, whether you choose to invest or not. Get in now. Assets never get old. He has a point there, ladies and gentlemen, because we need passive income coming in, the mantra for 2022. And the only way you can get that is by having assets. That's how we have to do it here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Eric, they are in the funding stage and looking to do one up from a Celsius or Nexo where they can borrow up to 70% of LTV of their crypto. That's not wise. They're not getting assets like properties. Okay. That's interesting. Unfortunately, though, I would highly suggest 70% LTV on crypto is not even a possibility, because crypto drops 50, 60, 70% just like that. That could be not a good thing. They would be liquidating. So unless they come up with some mechanism where they're like going to take the loss and not liquidate somebody's account when it drops below 70% LTV, that's highly risky, very risky there. Can't say much more. Yeah, I understand. Again, I would highly advise against 70% LTV in the crypto space. And I am going to advise, again, nobody should take out, if they even offered it to you, 70%, because remember, they're using your collateral, I believe. So if they're using your collateral and it's 70% and it goes down 40%, crypto goes down 40%, it happens. They would liquidate you and take back. Well, you'd be liquidated to pay off the whatever. But some people would hold the idea that, okay, I did a 70% LTV. I have my property. So even if they liquidate me, it's paid off, that 70% part. And then I would owe or have to deal with that remaining 30, however I dealt with that. But it is what it is. So it could work out for both persons either way. But if you're trying to keep your crypto, you don't want to do 70% LTVs. In investing, nobody knows when asset going to increase. Tesla worth 1,500, but it's trading at 1,000. But Bitcoin trading at 39 to 47K. All you can do is buy and hold. Exactly. Investing sometime is long term. Evening, Brian P. Gino C. Thank you. Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit Wilson Koo, the man. QuickEasyFunds.com. That's QUIK, easyfunds.com. QUIK, E as in Eric, Z as in Zebra, funds.com. That's where you can contact him if you're looking for any type of funding, if you're starting a new business, if you already have a business and you have revenues coming in, if you have real estate that you want to buy, if you have real estate that you want to rehab, if you have anything you want to do, contact Mr. Wilson Koo for funding. Startup businesses, funding. There's always some way to get funding. Right now, the window is going to close. If the economy turns bad, like it probably will, then they take loan offers off the table. Refinancing, for instance, things could start getting crazy with refinancing. That'll be taken off the table. So those are the type of things you got to think about. All right. We're 2 hours, 18 minutes in. Thank you so much for the feedback, ladies and gentlemen. We got into the deep section tonight about ethnicity in America. There's 2 different Americas and all that. The judges, the police, our whole country. Again, we talked about it because there's bad guys all over the place stopping you from being successful, stopping you from getting your financial freedom, stopping you from creating wealth, siphoning off your wealth, taking it, stealing it. Banks steal money from people. So again, bad guys are taking you down the path of, we're taking this from you. We know that this $5,000 could have been used, but we're stealing it and using the laws to steal it. This stuff happens, ladies and gentlemen. Bad guys are trying to hold you back from success, and it's financial freedom that they're afraid of. Because that is the golden calf right there. If you have 350 million people and 275 million people are financially free, can't have that. But you can have it where top 10%, 35 million people own more than 210 million people. You can do that, though. We have no issue. Like I said, there's a reason it's set up like this. Bad guys are holding us back from our success, but don't let them do that to you. All right. All this stuff about asset LTV should be taught in high school. Exactly. Many farmers lose land because can't pay taxes or service debt on land. Asset loan ratios are important. Very, very well said, Curtis Davis. That is something also. All of this should start when you're 12 years old, when you're 11 years old. They got us doing algebra. What's the difference? You can't talk to people about, you're already doing ratios. You're already doing calculations. You're 10, 11 years old, whatever it is. Why can't you do it then? 45 minutes, 3 days, 2 days a week. What's the problem? Well, like I said, they're not trying to give you that information because we got to give you misinformation because we don't want you that smart. That's just the bottom line. So who are these people? It could be your government. It could be your educators. It's a system. Okay, all this stuff about Fed printing or choosing to sell debt or raising debt affects OCs. We all must understand the give and take equation of money. Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up tonight. I got into it tonight. I understand some people are like, hold up, man, you're going in too deep. I get you, but you have to understand what you're up against. Some people are up against what I describe as America. Other people are like, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Well, see, that's the whole problem. Some parts of the segment of our population is being held back. They're trying to do the same thing another segment's doing, except the other segment flourishes while the other guys are being held back because of a system. And that's one of the problems. So once you get into it, what you're not realizing is, so in the top 10%, there's a teeter-totter, as you guys know. If somebody on one side of the teeter-totter weighs 300 pounds and the other person on the other side of the teeter-totter weighs 50, what's going to happen? You can never lift up the 300-pound guy if you're only 50 pounds. So this is the same thing. If somebody 10% owns more than 70%, we have an inequality that can't be overcome. So as long as there's people in the 10% section that goes, everything is cool, what are they belly aching about? What are they bitching about? I don't see it from my standpoint what the problem is. That is the problem. And that's also why I started the Stop Struggling Now channel, because there's a lot of people in our population, doesn't matter about color, who hasn't even heard of some of the things that we've talked about here over the years, and things that they didn't even know that they could do is another thing, because traditionally you're not taught anything. They're just like, okay, go down, get a loan at the bank. If you don't qualify, you can't get a house. They're not really taught about any other alternatives. So that's why it's very, very important to understand there are different Americas, different things are being taught, different ways of doing things are happening, but there are ways to do something. And without knowing those ways, then you are being stifled. And that's what is sad. Instead of giving everybody an equal footing so that way they can equally become successful, financially free, that would be awesome, right? That's what America was supposed to be. Bring your tired, you're hungry, or whatever, Statue of Liberty talk. Come on over here. You have a brand new world. You can be successful. You can do anything you want. That was the mantra. That's why you had millions of people coming across the water to America, because that gave you a second chance. And then you get to America, and because you're Irish, they don't want you here. Because you're Italian, they don't want you here. Because you're, it just goes on and on. But everybody was coming here just so they would have some freedom and be able to achieve success, right? So think about it, ladies and gentlemen. There's a reason for everything. But now that you know, don't let anybody stop you from being successful. Sure, you're going to have the ups and downs. Sure, there's systemic things in our society. But unfortunately, for all parties concerned, you're going to have to traverse those waters. You can't just sit there and go, well, there's a problem. They're trying to stop me, whatever. You can stop, but nobody's going to feel sorry for you. That's the problem. Nobody's going to care. I don't know if you've been paying attention to how many homeless people now are in the streets, but that number's growing. And I'm not talking about growing like by a few thousand. We're talking about millions. All right. So don't act like somebody's out here building homes for the homeless. That's not happening. I mean, what I mean by that is people are helping the homeless. But what I'm trying to say is there is no designation where some billionaire or multimillionaire or corporation is sitting there going, hey, you know what? We understand there's going to be 500,000 homeless people in, let's say, Florida or Southern California area. So we're going to get these 50 acres and we're going to build these tiny homes that are about 200 square feet. And we're just going to build about 1 million of them out here. Not going to have nothing like that. So that's what I'm talking about here. We're in a situation where dog eat dog. That's always been a thing. Be number one, always been a thing. This group stuff that we're trying to do, or I'm trying to do, it's a group thing. We're trying to get everybody involved to help everybody. Not everybody's on equal footing. But if we can get you closer to the top versus closer to the bottom, that's a win. An extra 50, an extra 200, an extra 500, an extra 1,000 a month, that's a win. So that's what we're talking about. Now we're going to wrap this up because it's 2 hours, 26 minutes in. My voice is getting a little hoarse because I did get a little bit excited tonight because this is a topic that hurts America. Because, like I said, if you have 70% of the population that doesn't have $1,000 in their bank account, that is a problem. A big problem. All right. Let's see. I think I missed something. Oh, yeah. Lots of love. Hold on. I did miss something. Let's see. And there's stuff about Fed printing or choosing to sell debt. We all must understand give and take. Okay, there we go. They teach people geometry and calculus, 1, 2, or 3 for 4 years, but no basis on money nor financial intelligence. Exactly. It's crazy. Elon failed to disclose his stake in Twitter of 4% plus. They jumped stock another 30% gains by reporting the 5% late, 100 mil extra. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? So wait a minute. He owns more than I thought it was a 9% stake. So he owns more than the 9% stake? Jesus, 100 million extra. Are you serious? Jeez, that's crazy. Letta White, welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Beautifully said. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Curtis Davis, thank you. Eric, thank you for the gems. Thank you for the gems. Vanessa Comagate, great discussion tonight. Good night, fam. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being involved in the discussion and let me know, hey, sometimes things ain't all bad. We have some good guys too. Don't forget about them. I hear you. I understand. So thank you for mentioning that as well. Good evening at Letta White, showing some love from Professor Auntie Val. So again, 2 hours, 28 minutes in. We're about to close this out. If you want to talk about something, the link is in the chat room down below. Please put it in there now. And so we'll start ending this up with thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And that's why we have to have these conversations. And it's actually good conversations. And that's why we also have to keep on our eye on the prize, that financial freedom, ladies and gentlemen. Because there's forces out here trying to make sure that that financial freedom is not attainable. They don't want you to have freedom papers in reality. Even though the lure of America has always been come here, be successful, the land of the free, the land of the brave, and all that. But there's forces, just like buy and sell forces in the stock market and in crypto. We have that going on for lives and financial freedom. So keep that in mind. And with all that said, Curtis Davis says, hold on, I missed something here. Let's see. No, when you own 4%, you must report to SEC, then add stock. He didn't tell he was approaching 9%. Oh, wow. Are you kidding me? He's already under SEC investigation already. He's been under SEC investigation and gotten out of it like 3 or 4 times already. And now he's still doing stuff that he knows. And oh, by the way, Oh, speaking of segments of our society, Elon Musk is not a USA citizen, right? Do you guys know that Elon Musk's father was a successful person? He wasn't just ordinary citizen. His dad was a successful person, just like Jeff Bezos' parents, just like Bill Gates' parents. Funny how that works, isn't it? You know, being on the board of IBM and all, which is one of the parents of Bill Gates, for instance, and working for Goldman Sachs, which everybody forgets about. For Jeff Bezos himself, worked for Goldman Sachs. His parents was in the financial field too. And how else can you be when your son says, hey, I need 300 G's? And they say, okay, here's 300 G's to help you start out your Amazon. And for that, you get 6% of the company. People conveniently forget all this. But anyhow, Elon Musk comes from a wealthy family as well. So again, they skirt the rules. You and I could be down at the SEC tomorrow and being hemmed up. This guy gets dealing with the SEC like on an annual basis, and he does it again. Incredible. I didn't know about that rule, though. I didn't know. No, when you own 4%, you must report. I didn't know about that. So that's very, very interesting. They put him on the board, too, already. So that's kind of weird. Auntie Val. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with all that said, I'm going to wrap it up. So make sure while you're out here, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.